And then after my Olympic career was done, I've had two babies since I've been in this program.
Today, I've invited one of my students, Michelle, Perry Canidate, to join me. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, how are you?
Well, so we know that many students have other roles in their lives. Tell me about some of the roles that you have in your life.
Oh, wow. So I'm a doctoral student, a mother, coach, and I have many other roles that I play in my friends' and family's lives.
And so I also know you're being a bit modest. So tell us maybe about some of the roles you've played prior to being a mom.
Prior to becoming a mother, I was a professional athlete. I competed for the U.S. track and field team for about 12 years. I competed in the Olympic Games for the heptathlon. And then I won 2 world championships while I was professional. And then after my Olympic career was done, I had a child. And since then, I've had 3 more. I started this program pregnant, and then I'm finishing it, giving birth to another baby. So I've had 2 babies since I've been in this program.
I believe you were pregnant when we first started working.
Yes, when we first met.
So I had 3 students have babies within 1 month, and all 3 students are on track to graduate in quantitative studies this spring. You win, though, with the 4th. So let's talk about how your writing was when you started the program and how you think your writing has evolved since then.
Started the program, I didn't have the worst writing, but I knew it wasn't obviously the best and definitely not doctoral level. I wrote in a very passive voice, and that does not fly in a doctoral program. So turning in papers and things like that, I would get that comment a lot. And it took me a while to adjust to that because it's just kind of easier for me to write as if I'm talking, but that's not how you're supposed to write in the program. It's a very direct voice. And it takes you a little bit of time to find your voice in the program. And so I think it's much better now. I will say that I've become a better writer now and a more direct writer since I've been in the program.
How did you feel when you first started the dissertation process and you received feedback? You had put in what you thought was your best possible work, and then you received it back with lots and lots of feedback. How did that feel at first?
Oh, wow. So after you spend hours and hours and hours and finding time to actually get this done, it can be a little challenging, and you spend a lot of time writing and rewriting and making it exactly how you want it to be because you really want to put forth your best effort before you turn it into your committee. And then you wait, with anticipation to get it back, and then you get it back. And in your mind, you're just like, oh, this is my best work. I'm going to do well. Everything's going to be great. And then you open up your document and you see all these little squares, these comments, and you're like, what is happening? And so you really should just take a breath, take a beat, go through them and be open-minded and make an effort to make it better. Because if you put up like a defense or I know I'm right, or you try to fight the process, it's not to your benefit. You're not going to get better, and it's going to make it harder. But if you kind of surrender to the process, read the comments, and be open to the feedback and try to make what you already did better, it's so much better.
When you got your feedback, give me words or phrases, little bites of the emotions that you experienced.
Just kind of like frustration. And I will use the word impatience because your goal is always I'm trying to get to the finish line, I'm trying to get to the finish line. And then when you see all the comments, they make you feel like you got set back and that you did so many things wrong and that your writing or what you turn in is not of good quality. You can have whole breakdowns, but you have to gather yourself and get over all of that and surrender to what is written on there, to what the feedback that's given, and do your best to try to follow what is being asked of you to get the writing to the quality that it needs to be. Because in the end, if you compare your initial submission and the final submission, you can honestly see the difference. It makes a huge difference. Your document's so much better.
Do you have any stories or examples to give us when you've opened up a document and what you experienced?
I think it was on my 3rd or 4th submission. And I opened it up And I made all the corrections from the initial time, but then I got it back and I got it back again. And the first couple pages had nothing on there. And I'm like, I don't understand. And then I got to chapter 3 and there was something on every single page. And my chapter 3, I put in a lot of work. I was working every day for, I think maybe like 3 weeks, because I dedicated a specific month to write that particular chapter. And when I got it back, it was just a complete letdown. I was frustrated. I had a conversation with myself. I had a conversation with my husband. And so finally, I contacted back my chair, talked to my chair about how do I move forward? What am I going to do? And it was truly a process of somebody on the other side that was championing for me, like really wants me to win. That's honestly what has been a huge part of keeping me going.
How do you handle feedback now compared to feedback then?
So now if I get feedback, I read it and then I make the effort to make it right. It doesn't bother me as much anymore because I know that it's not an attack on me. It's not trying to beat me down or make me feel bad or stop me from, progressing to my goal. It is honestly team effort to try to get me to where I'm trying to go. And in the beginning, it felt like, aren't you supposed to be on my side? That's how you feel in the beginning. And then after I got used to reading the feedback, trying to make it better, submitting to the process, then I learned that, okay, if I read this information, or I try to make it better, if I make the phone call or text or Zoom call or whatever it is, I know that my chair is on my side to help me get to where I'm trying to go.
Is there any advice you'd give to doctoral students regarding the iterative process and the feedback process?
If I had to give advice to a student that is just now entering the doctoral program and beginning with the iterative process, I would tell you, submit now. I would tell you, do your best, read the prompt of what it's asking you to do. Do your best to meet every requirement, read the rubric, and then do your best to meet what is written in the rubric. And then once you know within yourself, I've met the rubric, I've done my best work, submit it to your chair. And then at that point, trust the process. Let the chair do their job because that's what they're there for. They have that experience. They've been in the position for a very long time. And so at the end of the day, they're on your team to make you better, not to be an attack on you. And so once you decide, I'm going to trust my chair, I'm going to read the feedback and try to meet the feedback and surrender to the process. And that your next time around, you'll be so much better for it. And you'll have so much more confidence in your writing and your process will be so much smoother. So if I had to share a couple things, I would tell them to take your annotations very seriously, do very thorough annotations because they were going to help you in the future. Secondly, I would tell them, if you could write chapters 1, 2, and 3, they're not going to be the best. If you could write them before you enter and get your committee, do that. That makes a huge difference. My other advice would be, if you could write chapters 4 and 5 as soon as you collect your data. I had some issues with that, but as soon as you collect your data, write chapters 4 or 5 and then resubmit back to the program. Because it's easier if you're not writing while you're trying to be in the process because you get behind. But if you could submit a full document, like a full chapter 2 or a full chapter 3, it makes it so much better than you sending little pieces of your work.
That's good advice. I want to thank Michelle for joining us today and helping all our other students that watch these videos to get where she is. When you're done, and you're going to be done soon, the rule and how that it's Dr. Mom for 30 days. So thank you, Michelle. I hope you found this lesson helpful in becoming a feedback superhero. A special thanks to my entire support team here at Dr. Markette, just my bride, the other Dr. Markette. Please join the community of scholars on this channel, subscribe, and turn on the notifications, and let me help you get to graduation.